Tuesday, October 17th. Welcome to the Plus. Welcome back to so many of you. I see so many friendly faces and names and avatars saying good morning to each other. It's a beautiful little community we got going on here. And obviously, it's a big day for the entire Bay Area community because today is an anniversary of a very large event that happened. It is the anniversary of Loma Prieta. 5:04 tonight is the anniversary of the 89 earthquake, and I won't pretend to talk about it with any authority. I wasn't even in the Bay Area, but my wife was. She was just a little girl, and she remembers it vividly. I know that so many of you have vivid memories of that. A moment of terror, a moment of incredible rallying around, helping those who need it, a moment of tragedy. It was a big moment for the Bay Area, to say the least. It changed how people changed lives. It changed the infrastructure of the Bay. It changed a lot of things. So it'd be silly to not acknowledge that this is a very important day here in the Bay Area. And I wish you all the very, very best. And hopefully it's a really long time before anything like that comes back around these parts. We got some football for you today. We got some Niners news. We got a little baseball to get into. But for the first time in a long time, we start with some NBA basketball in football season, only because, kids, we're a week away from Warriors basketball. I mean, say something out loud that gets you more excited for a coming season. I dare you. Like, I love hoops. I love the fact that so much of my personal conversation with my friends are turning to, Indiana's recruiting, and I can feel basketball season in the air. It's like the fall. You can feel it coming. The pumpkins start hitting porches. I can't help but notice that pumpkins are round and orange. So are basketballs. That means it's almost time. I'm ready. This is going to be one hell of an experiment for the Golden State Warriors. And I'm telling you right now, the best way to approach this season, if you're a Warriors fan, is to not focus on the destination, but to focus on the process and see where the process takes you. Because if it's all championship or bust, or I won't be happy, I don't know if you're going to be happy with this season. I don't know if the Warriors are honestly going to be champions. I wouldn't count the Warriors out of that equation either. This is going to be a fascinating basketball season, and there's the large overall experiment to watch, and then there are all these little experiments happening around the lab of the Golden State Warriors, and how they all turn out is going to go into whether or not this season turns out the right way. First of all, Steve Kerr's got to be thrilled. It feels like all precincts are reporting that the Warriors got a unified locker room again. That obviously wasn't the case last year. Right around this time, you had Draymond Green hitting Jordan Poole. I'm sure that anniversary is coming up soon too. But it was right around this time where a smooth start to the year was anything but a smooth start to the year. And I don't know if the Warriors ever recovered from that. Well, whether it be Draymond's attitude because of Jordan Poole or Jordan Poole making attitudes wrong, those two are no longer in the same room, which means the room is now officially more connected, if I can borrow a phrase from Steve Kerr, than it was last year. Steph Curry, obviously the greatest Warrior of all time, could be his last go-around with his backcourt mate Klay Thompson. That right there means you should be leaning into this season because this is a historically significant backcourt. Now, there's also a chance that Klay might get a contract extension in the next week or two. We will see, right? Probably not week or two. This week, it would have to happen before the season started. But is Klay either at the last chapter with the Golden State Warriors, or is he in the beginning part of the final chapter of his career? Are you telling me there might be a scenario where Klay Thompson, in a walk year, with the motivation, with all the time back now and 100 games played since coming back from catastrophic injury, are you telling me that Klay Thompson might have one of his best years ever? I'm telling you it could happen. Who knows? It's a big wait and see. I know everybody's a little older, therefore a little bit slower, but Klay had one of those really weird years last year that might be less weird this year, and even more so, like a really good year for Klay Thompson. I could see that. I could also see it being the beginning of the wheels kind of falling off. I mean, Father Time is undefeated in this league. But this is going to be such a fascinating just experiment within a larger experiment to keep an eye on. What is Klay Thompson's year like? Does he get extended before the year? He motivated to play without a contract? I mean, of course he would be. Draymond Green. What's Draymond going to do this year? Is he going to go back to being the floor general, the great teammate who sets the tone in fantastic fashion with a defensive attitude that permeates every game the entire year? I really hope so. The Warriors can't have what they want without Draymond Green returning to your single best memories of what Draymond Green was with this team. Can he do it? Absolutely. Will he do it? We have to wait and see. You know, Draymond unites us. Draymond has the power to divide us. And that's the fans talking. He has the same power in that locker room. So what kind of leader and what kind of tone Draymond is setting for this year is going to go into the gumbo of how this all turns out. If the Warriors really are going to be a true, championship contender, Andrew Wiggins needs to have an all-star caliber type of year. Andrew Wiggins has to be the fully realized everything they want, not resting on a ring, happy to God extended, but Andrew Wiggins has to be hungry, nasty, playing hard Andrew Wiggins. And we know that it's not in his nature to be nasty, but he needs to be impactful. It can't be a wear beige and blend in year for Andrew Wiggins and think that the Warriors are going to finish in the top 4 in the Western Conference. That's not going to happen. He has a huge year and more responsibility to be an engine every night for the Warriors this season than even in seasons past. Kevon Looney. Here's what I love about Kevon Looney. We've officially reached the stage of Kevon Looney where the only thing Kevon Looney needs to do is show up. We depend on Kevon Looney. They depend on Kevon Looney. You can set your watch according to Kevon Looney's just ability to be out there every single game, doing what he does night in, night out. That is a made man all the way through. Mr. Dependable Kevon Looney. The last Golden State Warrior I'm ever going to worry about is you, brother. I am not worried about Kevon Looney, not a scotch, not an iota. I know exactly who he is. I know what he gives to this team every night. And if he's in the lineup, you get the Kevon Looney that you've come to know and love. Kevon Looney is a made man in this town. And then we get to Chris Paul. I don't know what to expect. I don't know what to expect with Chris Paul. This is going to be fascinating. I've never even thought of rooting for Chris Paul. I've never thought of pulling for Chris Paul. It never even occurred to me that what he does on a basketball court will be done for the benefit of a team that I care about. Never even thought of that. But here he is. I mean, he's definitely the world's oldest new guy, and he is new guy to the Golden State Warriors. Chris Paul's never made a team worse. As he gets older, that continues to be a truth. Chris Paul has never made a team worse. Is he seriously going to go out there and convert Warriors fans one night at a time, one game at a time? Is the Bay Area going to take Chris Paul into its heart for the first time ever? Is that about to happen? I don't even know what that looks like. What does that look like? How do you root for Chris Paul? Did someone leave an instruction manual on how that's done? What's the relationship going to be between him and Draymond Green? Because I could see how the two of them turn into best friends who are doing karate in the garage like in Step Brothers, or not be spirit animals, be the opposite of that, and kind of grind each other's gears. All, what happened between Draymond and Chris Paul. It's either going to work out great or not. I mean, there's really no in between. There's not a lot of gray area with those guys. It's going to be fascinating. How does he complement the starters? How does he run that second unit? However he gets used. Is he going to be comfortable getting used within the way the Warriors have identified the correct way to use him? If he disagrees with that, is he going to go along for the ride? Will a future Hall of Famer really allow himself to be steered by a team full of future Hall of Famers who have won more than he has? If he's smart, which I do believe he is, he will. It's going to be really interesting. Really, really interesting to see how this all goes down. Kuminga. I want to talk about Jonathan Kuminga. The Warriors will always be the total of their starters. Whatever their starters are doing are who the Warriors are. It's on Steph, Klay, Dre, Wiggins, Looney. It's on them. Chris Paul even, he gets put in that mix, sure. It's on the big boys to determine where this season goes. But first in line amongst the others, in my mind, is Jonathan Kuminga. If at the end of this year, you're having a disappointed conversation about Jonathan Kuminga, I bet you it's a disappointing year for the Warriors. And on the other side of that coin is that was an outstanding year from Jonathan Kuminga, and watch it turn into an outstanding year for the Golden State Warriors. The leap that Kuminga takes in year 3, I think will walk hand in hand with Warriors' ultimate expectations. If he isn't everything they hoped that he could be, I don't think this season could be everything that they hoped it can be. Kuminga is no longer a sidecar Golden State Warrior. He is on the main motorcycle, and he's not steering it, but he will affect the balance of the guys on that main motorcycle. Jonathan Kuminga will either be the reason the Warriors win 4 more games than you thought they might, or lose 4 more games than you thought that they would. So Kuminga's progress this year is just massive for what the Warriors want to be, what the Warriors want to do. Then you got the rooks, Brandon Pajemski and Trace Jackson Davis. It feels like anything they give the Warriors has to be identified as gravy. We don't expect a lot from rookies. I do think we are getting hints that these rookies can contribute. Pajemski has looked a lot better in NBA preseason than he's looked in Summer League. He's looked under control. It looks like he's allowed the speed of this game to catch up with him, and he is familiar now and more comfortable on the court. Trace Jackson Davis always looks comfortable on a basketball court. He has not been overwhelmed. I think he's going to pick his right moments and do what the Warriors need of him. I really like the way these 2 rookies could fit into this year. The fact that it's Gary Payton II for a full year, that needs to make this team a better defensive team on that alone. Gary Payton II was someone who was on the verge of becoming a very important Golden State Warrior. Then he leaves, then he comes back, hoping to bring back a very important Golden State Warrior. He was never right, he was never healthy, and he was hardly out there. It's like we hardly got to know him again. So a reunited feeling with Gary Payton II will feel more like he's back on the team this year than last year, certainly. And then Dario Saric. What is Dario Saric going to be on this team? What is Rudy Gay going to be on this team? I'm excited to see this basketball season. It begins a week from today, next Tuesday. It's Warriors and Phoenix Suns and Kevin Durant at Chase Center with fans in the building for the first time since that building's been built. I'm ready. I am ready. I love me some hoops. Absolutely love me some hoops. I'm very excited about the coming Warriors season. So we got to talk some football, right? It is football season. Football's the biggest sport in the world. The reason why my channel's been blowing up this month is because of football, for real. 49ers fans got good news about Deebo and Trent Williams after some injury scares in Cleveland. Still don't know what to tell you about Christian McCaffrey unless something has come across the wire in the last 15 minutes since I've started this show. I don't know what's going on with McCaffrey, which means I would absolutely lean into precaution with that guy. Classified as day-to-day are Deebo and Trent Williams. That is the NFL equivalent of a pat on everyone's head telling us that they're going to be okay. That's really good news. Really good news. Trent Williams, Deebo are day-to-day. Christian McCaffrey, according to Nick Wagner, says that his situation is a bit more tenuous. The Niners await further information before offering a diagnosis and a timeline to return. Asked whether McCaffrey could be in position to play through the injury with the use of a flak jacket, the 49ers have basically said it's still a wait and see. It went from oblique to oblique/rib. So what's the deal with McCaffrey? Here's the way I would approach it, knowing nothing. With zero results of the MRI, even if McCaffrey has he's cleared to play, you know what I would do? I would sit him no matter what against the Vikings on Monday Night Football. I really would. Even if the doctors say he's ready, even if he says he's ready, you don't need anything lingering. And I don't think you need Christian McCaffrey to beat the Minnesota Vikings on Monday Night Football. I don't. I think you get Mason, Mitchell, and Davis Price just up and ready all week, and you just pound into those guys' heads. This is your week, fellas. So pay attention. Be ready to go and practice all week because your number could be called at any time. If he's good to go, I would sit him anyways. Extra precaution is the right way to approach any Christian McCaffrey injury because he is not needed to beat the Minnesota Vikings. He will be needed in a postseason. You go ahead and lose to the Minnesota Vikings. If that tells me I get a healthy Christian McCaffrey later on in the year with no lingering effects of any of this, I'll give you a win to the Minnesota Vikings. He is so important to any grand designs that the 49ers have. You can't be messing around with Christian McCaffrey. Caution, caution, caution. Precaution is what I would be using for Christian McCaffrey. Some good news. Dre Greenlaw is expected back on the practice field this week. That's great news. Forget about good news. That's great news. So that hamstring injury, which lingered, hopefully is behind him. Hamstrings linger. They tend to linger. But if he's ready to get back out on his field, maybe last week and not playing him in Cleveland was the precaution needed to get him right. I'm very excited about the 49ers. You should be excited about the 49ers. I realize that there have been 48 hours of anxiety since the loss to Cleveland. I'm calming you down. Larry, who's well-informed, is calming you down. You should be calm. I'm going to tell you right now that the 49ers have dropped in some power rankings by media companies who don't affect what's really going on. They're just trying to create conversation. In Las Vegas, the 49ers have not fallen out of their favorite to win the Super Bowl position. I believe they're going off at 4-1 still, which is they're the betting favorite to win the Super Bowl. So even with the loss to Cleveland, nothing has changed there. Nothing should really change in your mind either. That was just a weird game, an odd game, a game full of failure, a game full of poor execution, a game full of great Browns defense. You got to give the other team credit. You got to give Schwartz credit for having Kyle Shanahan's number for sure. And look, I've done multiple videos, put them out on the channel, done a short, done a video, used some stuff that Larry and I did from 49ers Wake Up, just trying to say, I'm not blaming the referees, but the referees absolutely had a hand in the negative outcome. Not the Warriors. The 49ers did enough to lose that game without the officials. With the officials, they almost had no shot. And that's not me. I know some people quickly, oh, where are you from? The Bay Area? You must be a homer. You must be some Niner fan. You're blaming the refs. So if you're familiar with my career, you know that I don't do a lot of let's blame the officials broadcasting. It's not who I am. I believe that when a team has a boatload of its own mistakes to point at, you can talk about the officials, but blaming a loss squarely on the officials is nonsense in my mind. However, this is not me. This is Jimmy Trana, who writes for Sports Illustrated. He's an East Coast guy. Yeah, I don't think he gives a rip about the 49ers one way or the other. He wrote in Sports Illustrated, "The worst kind of problem is one where there's no solution, and I don't know what the answer for NFL having atrocious officials is, but it's a major issue. I don't want to say the refs cost the Niners a game on Sunday since their kicker missed a game-winning field goal on the final play, but the refs couldn't have helped the Browns any more than they did. Not my words. This is an impartial observer. For starters, a shoulder-to-shoulder hit was called unnecessary roughness, and there was a defensive holding call on Ward that just had no defensive holding anywhere around it. He didn't even get into the could have been, might have been, should have been fumble that I've been talking about. And he goes on to point out that it's not just Damon Bruce and Larry Krueger and 49er fans saying that those officials stunk. It's not just Jimmy Trana from Sports Illustrated, but he went right back to the broadcast itself. Here's how those bad calls were for Greg Olson. He criticized each one of them. And then Fox rules expert Dean Blandino said that both calls were wrong. You go back, you look at rules experts. How often do you hear them saying flat out, they got that wrong? He said that twice about an officiating crew that had a lousy day in Cleveland, and no official's supposed to help a team win a football game, but they're not supposed to hurt a team's chances either. And I mean, there's evidence that those referees hurt the 49ers' chances. And it's not evidence being offered up by anybody on the West Coast. The broadcasters themselves, Dean Blandino, Sports Illustrated writers are saying in a weekend full of bad officiating, that Niners game, it took the cake. So there you go. It's not just YouTubers, not just broadcasters, not just guys who base their careers in San Francisco complaining about officials. Everyone who watched that game, including the officials who watched that game, thought that it was a poorly officiated game. So there you go. It's not just me. It is not just me. What I would like just you to do is think about getting a sandwich from Ike's today for lunch. Have you made lunch plans? You should make lunch plans, and you shouldn't plan anything other than getting a sandwich from Ike's today. I love Ike. He cares about feeding people. And the bigger his stores get, normally when there's growth, people take an eye off the product in the name of grow, not Ike. The more stores he opens, I swear to God, the better his sandwiches get. Find out for yourself. Download the Ike's Reward app. Start earning free sandwiches by eating sandwiches. Why you wouldn't do that, I had no idea. So download that Ike's Reward app. You'll be happy that you did. You can arrange delivery from all around his locations, and there's probably one near you that delivers to you. So check it all out. Get yourself a sandwich at Ike's. How are you going to pay for things? Maybe with all that money you're winning from bottomlinebets.com, and I told you that I was going to talk to my man Stefan about being generous one more week, and he's going to be. I hope you took advantage of your free day of handicapping. I've got another promo code to get you the same thing this week. The promo code is Bruce, B-R-U-C-E. BRUCE gets you a free day of handicapping. I know for a fact that he went 3-0 on his delivered bets on Sunday. I know for a fact that he went undefeated last night with the bets that he made around Monday Night Football and the baseball playoff games that went on. My man Stefan is red hot. If you are not on board this train, I don't really know what you're waiting for, because the ticket is free. It's free to ride if you use promo code Bruce at bottomlinebets.com. It's a lot like Ike sandwiches. Don't take my word for it. Try it yourself. You'll be sold on the sandwich. You'll be sold on my man Stefan, hottest handicapper in America. Bottomlinebets.com. Use promo code Damon for a free day of handicapping this week. Daily, monthly, and weekly subscriptions available for you. The full year can also be yours over at bottomlinebets.com. We will hop into Club Plus here in a second. We got some other things to get to. AJ Cruz saying, man, I was washing dishes. Harper, 8:30. I was only 2 years old, talking about the earthquake. Look at Albert. Look, by the way, look at how Look at how young my audience is here. I was 1.5 years old. I don't think I understood it until later in my adult life, how big it was. Yeah, you don't have any perspective when you're 1.5. Of course not. The earthquake kits, we had to have them in the school. Look at it this way. My wife, a San Francisco native, when we moved into our home, one of the first things she got for us was an earthquake readiness kit. It is upstairs. It's in the front closet. I know where it is. She knows where it is. The kids know where it is. You know, all the stuff that you might need. Should we get another one of those? I was born in 92, Damon. I didn't expect the big quake. Nathaniel Richards saying, man, I'm never, ever going to forget about that. I was 11 years old, saw the streets rolling like an ocean wave. Wally Lama. Me and my mom couldn't get back inside after the earthquake. We sat outside all night and passing out PB&Js. It's amazing the stories of how the community rallied. It really is beautiful. Absolutely beautiful how the way the community rallied around each other, making people happy, trying to help each other. The stories are incredible from that moment in time, and what a moment in time it really was for the Bay Area. Lots of memories coming across here. All right, a little bit more from baseball, and then I'll tell you about the cool T-shirt that I'm wearing today. Bruce Bochy's 2 wins away from another World Series appearance. Ooh, sip of the day. There it is, right there. Right there. I made a pot of coffee a little late today, so this was really hot. I knew I had a little waiting to do. It's perfect now. Yeah. I hope you took the over today. I don't even know what the under was. Oh, there's my buddy Ike. He's in here. He wants to talk hoops. He's like, forget about the sandwiches. Let's talk Warriors. That's why I love you, Ike. Seriously. Let's see how they gel. Indeed. Let's see how it all comes together. Let's see how these flavors marry, if I can use restaurant terms. Bruce Bochy's 2 wins away from a World Series appearance. The next 3 games, by the way, are in his own home ballpark. No manager has ever won 3 LCSs with 3 different clubs. Bruce Bochy's 2 wins away from adding that feather to his Hall of Fame cap. The Rangers took 2 off the Astros. They scored 4 runs in the first last night. They hung on for a 5-4 win in Game 2 of the ALCS. Game 1 of the NLCS went to the Phillies. Yeah, I mean, that place is the best atmosphere I think I've ever seen for postseason baseball. Those fans get up on their feet and they don't sit down all game. Bryce Harper hits a 420-foot home run on his 31st birthday on the first pitch of the series that he saw. Kyle Schwarber took Zach Gallen deep on the very first pitch of the game, and then 4 pitches later, I should say, you had Harper going deep. Castellanos went deep last night. Schwarber's 4th leadoff home run in the postseason, moving him past Jimmy Rollins and Derek Jeter for the most in baseball history. He went to Indiana. The Phillies have won 10 in a row at home in the postseason. 10 in a row now at home in the postseason. Zach Wheeler was really good. And, man, I'm just going to tell you, the Phillies got that look. For the first time in the postseason, the Diamondbacks were handed a defeat last night. They'll go with Merrill Kelly against Aaron Nola in Game 2 of the NLCS tonight. But that's certainly worth keeping your eye on. I know a lot of you A's fans saw Trevor May ripping John Fisher. I had a lot of people share that video with me on Twitter, and I want to talk about that right here and now. Oakland A's relief pitcher Trevor May ripped into John Fisher while also announcing his retirement on Twitch, one of the many homes of the Damon Bruce Show. YouTube, Twitch, download the podcast. It's all available to you. Trevor May is our hero. I wish Trevor would have said this when he was still playing or when the season was going on. But you can't say this about your owner when you're playing. You can't. He said, sell the team, dude. Sell it, man. Let someone who actually, takes pride in things that they own something. There are people who actually give a shit about this game. Let them do it. Take mommy and daddy's money somewhere else, dork. End quote. Mwah. Trevor May, where have you been my whole life? He said, and I still continue to quote him, if you're going to be a greedy fuck, own it. There's nothing weaker than being afraid of cameras. Do what you're doing. Do what you're going to do, bro. Whatever. You're a billionaire. They exist. You guys have all the power. You shouldn't have any because you haven't earned any of it. But anyway, whatever. He went on to praise fans. He went on to say that the A's fans who did show up and support the team meant so much to the team. They knew, every single one of those players, that the absence of fans had nothing to do with them or the season that they were having, but had everything to do with turning your back on an owner who has turned his back on an entire community. Trevor May for president. Man, I loved what he said. This guy played 9 years of Major League Baseball. He was with the Twins. He was with the Mets. So, he saw mid-market baseball. He saw the biggest market baseball. He comes out, he plays for the A's, and he's like, what the hell is this? Guy actually finished his career strong, but at 34 years old, he's decided he's hanging it up. And I love how clean he came. Oh, my goodness. Ripping into John Fisher. It was good stuff. Really was. Way to go, Trevor. Another baseball-related story that we got to get into today's show. Have you seen the SF Gate story about Gabe Kapler and all the Cameo videos that he did? I mean, let me put a few facts on the table. There's not a single Cameo video that Gabe Kapler shot that affected any game he managed. There's not a single group of Cameo videos that Gabe Kapler produced that had anything to do with this team not being focused or anything like that. It's not like he was filming these things in the dugout, not paying attention to the game. He was doing it on his free time. And there's been enough kicking in the teeth, rightfully so for some reasons, of Gabe Kapler. We're not doing that again. But the whole journey through this Cameo expose in SF Gate is fascinating. All season long, Kapler was making a little extra cash by recording videos on Cameo. I mean, this is something that Jillian and I are considering doing. Do you think we'd get away with charging $25, $50 a pop for people saying, Damon popping in saying happy birthday or whatever you'd want me to? I don't know, maybe. But we're considering it. But I'm a guy who just got laid off. I'm not making millions of dollars a year as a major league manager. But, hey, making a little extra money on the side sounds good to everyone. So Gabe Kapler, he got into Cameo, and he didn't get into Cameo a little. He got into Cameo a lot. The now former Giants manager has been one of Cameo's top baseball celebrities in terms of volume of responses. Out of nearly 460 people in the baseball category, Gabe Kapler is one of only 24 with more than 250 reviews of their videos as of publication. He was charging $225 a video. $225? For Gabe Kapler? I mean, is he taking his shirt off like Magic Mike? Did women get to say, let me see your abs? Is that what's going on? Now, I watched a few of these videos, and all of them, I'll tell you, most of them were like him on his bike or walking around San Francisco. That guy loved San Francisco. He really did. He embraced the city. It didn't quite embrace him back, but he also embraced the amount of money that he could charge after things started going very well after that 107-win season. By the way, I see a lot of people, they're hitting like buttons. They're giving, smash that like button. Love, love, love all the way around. A lot of talk about Chris Paul. The first super that I see of the day, I miss these. I saw Aaron Rivera, by the way. I saw your super yesterday when the show was over. Thank you very, very much, Aaron. And I want to say thank you from T from the 203. This in-season tournament happening this season. Do you see people changing their philosophy with roster construction? I don't even know. I don't even want to talk about the importance of the in-season tournament. It'll be this fun little distraction, I guess, but it's so complicated and convoluted. Like I watched a 4-minute long Richard Jefferson explaining how it all works, and I tuned out like halfway through it. I'm like, I don't care. I'll figure it out as it goes along. Anyways, T, thank you very, very much. I don't think there's. Look at it this way: the roster's constructed. I don't think it had anything to do with the in-season tournament, but how they play, whether they rest guys, I don't know. I'm not going to pretend to care about something that is manufactured. But sure, we'll get into it while it's happening. Oh, this is a game that counts twice, sort of. It's a regular season game, and it's an in-season tournament game. All right. Anyways, T from the 203 got me off my Gabe Kapler segment. Let me get back into it. Reviews for Kapler start around the summer of 2020, which is the same time Archive's Wayback Machine has the first 11 screenshots of Kapler's Cameo page. Those screenshots reveal how Gabe Kapler raised his Cameo prices over time. Back in July of 2020, he was charging $45 for a video. Then it jumped to $65 that August, then $75 in May, up to $80 on September 24th of 2021. Once the Giants finish off their stunning 107-win regular season, Kapler's price for Cameo videos skyrocketed. On October 7th, he was charging $125 per video. His price continued to rise over the next 2 years, reaching $150 in 2022, $175 by December of 2020. He was trying to, profit off that Christmas rush. Not exactly clear when he started charging $225 a pop. But there you go. The new price means that Kapler is currently charging per video. He's currently charging more per video than 8 baseball Hall of Famers. It is more expensive to get a Cameo video for Gabe Kapler than it is from Ryne Sandberg, John Smoltz, Eddie Murray, Tim Raines, Tom Glavine, or Edgar Martinez, Paul Molitor, or Andre Dawson. He charges the same price as Johnny Bench. Those guys are Hall of Famers. The other guy's Gabe Kapler. Say what you will about Gabe Kapler coming across as disingenuous, someone who rubbed people the wrong way. He's got 97% success rate. He's earned a 4.96 star rating out of 5 over 252 reviews. People enjoyed their Gabe Kapler Cameo videos. I'm glad he charged enough for them. I saw some comments like, no wonder why the Giants weren't. Look at it this way. I don't think Gabe Kapler had much to do with anything you really saw. He was just running the Farhan plan. And based on interviews so far, the Farhan plan is still going to get run. One more baseball note. One more baseball note for you, and I thought that this was fascinating. And this is integrity, which is rare these days, right? Jeff Passan reports that the Miami Marlins, they wanted to hire a president of baseball operations to be working over Kim Ng, even though she built a playoff team this year. And the 54-year-old highest-ranking woman in major men's North American professional sports, the Marlins hired her in 2020 as their GM. She's the first female GM in baseball, football, basketball, or hockey. There was a mutual option for 2024. They extended it to her. She declined it. She met with Marlins owner Bruce Sherman and said, Last week, Bruce and I discussed his plan to reshape the baseball operations department. In our discussions, it became apparent that we were not completely aligned on what it should look like, and I felt it best to step away. What? I love it. Someone with integrity. This is my show. I'm running it the way I want to. You're going to put somebody above me? I'm out. Folks, that's integrity. And I don't know, the one woman general manager in sports retires with more integrity than I bet you a lot of her contemporaries sit around and take a deal, to keep the title and the paycheck of GM, even though their actual ability to make autonomous decisions could be diminished. A lot of people will just say, hey, I'll take the money, I'll stay in the role, whether I still have the same amount of power or not. Look at the integrity on Kim Ng. I'm impressed. I really am. Cheers to Kim Ng. That's who the Giants should They get rid of Farhan. Bring her in. Right up until last night, Kim Ng was probably the most famous Asian female in all of professional sports. The most famous Asian male being Shohei Ohtani. It was probably Kim Ng. Right up until last night where that Charger fan started trending. Did you see that Charger fan, that woman who just went, it's like she had an orgasm. I mean, she went nuts. She went, I haven't seen a fan be into that. It's to the point where she was so ridiculously over the top in her joy. I wonder if she wasn't like a plant. I wonder if she wasn't some studio actor that they hired to sit here and play the role of Charger fan that we will cut to. Oh my God. She's everywhere this morning. I think the San Diego Chargers even used her picture now officially on their official Twitter site. Like, she's their new team logo. And she's a better logo than what they came up with when they moved to LA. So good for her. I don't know if we'll ever know her name, but we'll certainly never forget her Monday Night Football debut. Are you ready to hop in? Let's pick things up in the chat. Ready? That means it's officially time for Oh, before we do that, let me remember how my own show works. Thank you very much for tuning in today. Thank you so much for joining us on a less football than usual during football season show. We had Warriors. We had some baseball to talk about. Before you go anywhere, let me just tell you about this T-shirt that I'm wearing. This T-shirt is the Golden Gate Gales, who played in Candlestick in 1967 as part of the shortly lived United Soccer Association. This is a defunct logo that you won't find anywhere but at Jack's. Let me tell you about Jack's. Jack's is the coolest T-shirt store in San Francisco. If you can't make it to their actual brick and mortar on Chestnut Street, you can order off of jackssf.com. JACKSSF.com. 2 S's. Use promo code DamonBruce10 when you check out. Cool I love this. I hate soccer. I love this T-shirt. It reminds me of Hartford Whalers a little. This cool. Well, here, let me get the. Sorry, Paul Hansen. He says, I can't believe it's been 34 years since the quake. Keep on keeping on, Damon. The show is great. Well, thank you very much, Paul. I appreciate that. Here, let me take this down though, so you can see the T-shirt. It's awesome. The T-shirts are so comfortable. They're so well made. They feel great. They're great. They're great T-shirts. I love being a partner with Jack's. Check it out yourself. Use promo code DamonBruce10 and get 10% off when you do it either. Well, I think you can do that in person, and you can certainly do it on the website as well. True Blue forever. Oh, no, wait a minute. Hold on. Wait. So there you go. I told you about Jack's. I'm happy that I told you about Jack's. I'm happy that you tuned in today. Thank you so much for listening. Thank you for being a part of the YouTube channel. Thank you for being a part of Twitch if you're watching over there. Thank you so much for downloading the podcast and being a part of us over there. It means so much. Your support has been overwhelming this month, particularly. Thank you. It means an awful lot. And I'll leave you with this, that sports don't build character, they reveal it. And like that, he's gone. didn't have any disco face yesterday. Tonight, you get your disco face. This afternoon. It's not tonight. What am I talking about? Here we go. Here we go. Here we go. What do we have over here from Albert? You know, I hadn't planned on lunch. I needed to get a Damon Bruce. Somebody's going to Ike's for lunch. I like that. Get yourself an Ike for lunch. MJ says, Damon, did you see that Scott Van Pelt went in on the refs too? He said, you know, I have no dog on this fight, but those were some terrible calls. Again, when I'm complaining about the officials, it's because there's something to complain about. I am not one of them slapdick bored journalists who don't actually know how to, well, I'm not a journalist, but you know what I mean. I know what's actually going on a football field. I don't have to resort to easy talking points. Don't you hate the refs? It's stupid. But they had a bad day. They had a really, really bad day, and I saw it, and I'm glad that you saw it. It was ridiculous. Damon, did you pump fake the sip of the day? Did I drop a pump fake on you? My jab step? Oh, that's good coffee. G. Martinez says, Stefan, we go in Philly. Is Stefan in here today? I haven't seen his name yet, but I just started really looking over here at the chat. Erwin, he remembers the Quake, said, I was watching the World Series. I'm telling you, that World Series, you know, life is coincidence and timing. The fact that World Series was going on and it involved both teams from the Bay, I believe it saved thousands of lives. What kind of normal traffic do you get at 5:04, right? What might the roads that collapsed, what might have those, what would have been the death toll had so many people not been in front of a TV, at Candlestick, off the road? Oh my God. I mean, the serendipity of it all is just, it's amazing. Yeah, some of you were 6, 7. I did Jillian, let's see, 89. So Jillian was born 84, I think. Yeah, she's like 5 years old, 5, 6 years old. I probably got my wife's birthday wrong. I think it was 82. 82, yeah. I think her name's Jillian. Earthquake anniversary. Yep. Today is the day. That earthquake happened on my sister's 15th birthday. It's funny, I know some people who had champagne flutes on the edge of their counter and they didn't even fall off. Like, it depends, wherever you were in San Francisco or the Bay Area determined how scary that thing was. In some neighborhoods, it really shook. In other neighborhoods, a lot less, you know, be on bedrock. By the way, a lot of people, are sharing their birthdays over here. How old they are? Happy birthday, everyone! Hey, my man McBride, official brother, checking in. McBride's going to be out in the Bay Area soon. We're going to do a show where I'm going to be sitting right here. And McBride is going to be right here. It's the show America always needed, was never given. I'm looking forward to seeing McBride coming to town, man. That's going to be great. Damon, I was 11 years old on the East Coast watching it all unfold. I was watching on TV myself. I remember Al Michaels and how good he was, how he shifted from sportscaster to newscaster, and his knowledge of the Bay Area, which, again, he loves the Bay Area, Al Michaels does. This is why the move to Levi's Stadium is always going to piss him off. But man, yeah, I was watching on TV too. I'll never forget it. I mean, I'll never forget that. Rockin' New Era 84. Hey, hire Kim Ng. Get rid of Farhan. I think that's before I did the Kim Ng segment, so thank you. What do we got here? Damon, speaking of which, the original Phil's location in the Mission has closed down? Really? I didn't know that. That's too bad. I hope it's just, one of those. I hope that's one of those, we just closed it down for the right business reasons, not due to poor business reasons. Kathy says, Damon, can we talk about Trevor May's retirement and the amazing exit interview? But wasn't that incredible, Kathy? That was for you. That was for you, sweetheart. You needed that one. I know you did, Kathy. Kathy is a diehard A's fan, and she is pissed. He has a right to be. Jude Wellington. Sounds like now on first tee, Jude Wellington. It's a serious name you got there, Jude. D. Bruce, you hypnoed us to go to Ike's in Dublin yesterday. October 17th at 89 at 4 p.m. I was leaving San Francisco on the Bay Bridge, heading to the Cypress Freeway in a Rabbit convertible, waiting for the Bay Bridge World Series. Oh, my God. I mean, thank God that you weren't, on a stretch of that Cypress Freeway that people didn't come out of that day. But thank you, Jude. Thank you for watching. I've not seen your name in here before. You have an outstanding name. You sound like you were just born to be successful. So I'll take all the successful sounding people in here. Whether you're successful or not, I don't know. But you sure sound like you went to an Ivy League school. Mr. Wellington, what is your answer? Your name should be pronounced with a British accent at all times. It's an outstanding name, Jude. So hit that like button. Smash it, if you will. Hit that notify button. Subscribe. All those things certainly make the world go round over here, and I deeply appreciate it when you do that. How about that one line for Trevor May? Sell it, dork. I love that. I love it. Yeah, JJ Raider over here on Twitch. Hell yeah, Twitch. Twitch delivering the goods. Postman in Capitola. Oy, oy, oy! We know how we feel about John Fisher. I mean, I got nothing left to say about him. Just the worst human being ever involved in professional sports, and he could probably win that contest if we had to go and prove it. That guy and his entire family suck. When is Damon going to be on Cameo? I would like to think that what we're doing over here kicks in well enough to where I won't be doing that. I don't know. The answer to every aspect of my career right now is I don't know. I don't know. I think it's going to go well. I don't know. It's certainly going well, thanks to all of you. MJ says, man, I was surprised how many famous household sports name figures do Cameo. Yeah, I am too. Like, maybe, how about me? The guy who just got laid off shouldn't be shy about it, right? Who needs more cash bringing into the house than I do? I should do that. Look, here's what I love about Ike. He's like, Damon, Cameo it up, my man. I'll be the first purchase. First of all, Ike, you can FaceTime me at any point in time. Second of all, you can show up at my front door. You know exactly. You've been to dinner at my Ike. You don't need a Cameo. Ike, your sponsorship is enough. You don't need to be cameoing it up with me too. But thank you, and if I ever do it, I'll let you know. G. Martinez says, Bruce Bochy would never do that clown crap. I'll say this, Bochy's from a generation that doesn't do stuff like that, I'm guessing. Gabe Kapler is. Again, there are a lot of reasons to not like Gabe Kapler. I don't think the Cameo thing should be among them. I just find the whole journey through his Cameo credentials fascinating. The way he bumped up his prices. And I saw a few of the videos, and I'll tell you what, he left people. Here's the thing. If you bought a Gabe Kapler Cameo, did you like it? The overwhelming response from people who did that was, yes, he did a great job. he was probably better on Cameo than he was in the dugout. So I don't have a problem. Kim with the very important follow-up question. Damon, was he flexing those muscles in Cameo? He flexed his muscles in press conferences. So probably, yes. Joseph says, real simple, Damon, you should do it. Damon, how about this? You should put Damon in your commercials eating sandwiches. Oh, Ike. Yeah, that's what Ike's advertising campaign needs. An overweight, middle-aged man pounding sandwiches. The fact he lets me endorse them is nice enough. But yeah, call me Ike. Richard DeLeon, Dick DeLeon, says the ladies love the skip. Oh, I'm going to tell you, when he just got hired, he went to the Gabe Kapler was a guest. Look at it this way. If you are a Giants manager, you basically have a reserved seat at the Guardsman Sports Auction every year. The Guardsman Sports Auction is timed around the Giants getting to the ballpark, filming all of their commercials over a couple of days before they go to spring training. So I've had the ability to get to know Bruce Bochy throughout the years. I've certainly got to know Gabe Kapler right away. My wife, she was really happy with the pictures that she got to take with Gabe Kapler. Happier, I believe, with those pictures than she was with the Giants record, but for the 107-win season. I understand your bitterness here. Albert says the only reason they won 107 games that season was because Posey had career year. Gabe does not get any credit. No, here's the thing. There's no reason to get nasty. He was the manager of a team that won 107 games. Of course he gets a part of that credit. But that credit wasn't enough to keep him in the job. You know, here's the thing. Gabe Kapler was a little weird with the media, was a little bit of an odd fellow whenever he had a camera in his face, but he's not a bad guy. He just was he's just an odd fella. I'll tell you what I thought was really interesting. Yesterday, Larry Krueger had Brian Sabian and Ned Colletti on his channel, and Brian Sabian basically said he doesn't even root for the Giants anymore. He doesn't know anybody that's associated with that team, basically. You know, Larry Bear's still there. He's like, everyone else has changed. The principles have changed. And it didn't sound like Brian was happy with the way that ended. And he talked about, everyone knows what happened with Bruce. He got forced out, and the fact that Brian Sabian had so much success and the best part of his career with the San Francisco Giants, and he's got no real love for them anymore, says an awful lot about how that team's been run lately. Old school baseball people don't like the direction that the Giants took. And I don't think they should. Kapler lost the clubhouse. Feels like there's a lot of the mystique around the San Francisco Giants is long gone. They can talk about their on-field ceremonies, which they do a great job with, but there's no mystique around that team. It's a great ballpark, blah, blah, blah. The mystique around, man, they just know what they're doing, didn't follow Farhan into the Farhan era. And I don't know if they're going to get better with him. I don't think he's as bad as everyone who really hates him does, but if he can't land big fish, he shouldn't be your fisherman. He might be smart, but he's a terrible salesman. He's a terrible salesman. He can't get anyone to take his money. And then he keeps on backing himself into bad deals when they shake out. JJ Raider, hey, Damon, you could just go ahead and sell cameos of your impressions.
Well, thank you very much. I appreciate that. You know, Gabe Kapler did the cameos, and maybe Ralph could come on back. The ghost of Ralph could do some cameos, maybe.
I wish that Ralph were still around just for his commentary on modern society.
Yeah, I mean, I really can't believe this Elon Musk guy is in such big control of a conversation now. He seems like a real intrusive fella.
Jim Everett says the Rams are dangerous. Jim, let me tell you, I think the Rams are pretty good. Rams are dangerous. They're not some easy out. This isn't a dead-on-arrival team, as a lot of people said that they might be. I also saw that your starting corner just got popped for a concealed weapons charge when he got pulled over after a game on Sunday night. So, you know, that's not good. Oh, he goes on to say, Damon, the Dodgers will be back. Yeah, they're probably going to be right back to winning 107 games. You know what the Dodgers really are? The Dodgers are the modern Atlanta Braves. They've been the best team in their own division for about a decade, and they got one championship to show for it, and that championship has to be brought up and talked about in the reality that it happened in, which was a shortened year, and it doesn't... Of all the World Series championships, the Dodgers certainly have what they won there, but in the history of World Series, it's the least valuable World Series there is. Now, I would love the least valuable World Series if it were in my trophy case. I would never, ever apologize for it. But it's a bullshit World Series, and we all know it, and you do too as a Dodger fan. See, I'm not the only T from the 203 here. That Charger fan has to be a paid actress, right? I mean, my God, did she display every emotion in the world? I knew she would go viral. Oh, we all did as soon as you saw her. I mean, I seriously, I don't think I've ever seen anyone that happy in any moment of anyone's life, not never. Chargers score a go-ahead touchdown, and she had the same reaction of like a woman who is surprised by her soldier son who just happens to be back from deployment and she didn't know about it. Like, she might need to be medicated. Chef A, she was annoying. It seems staged. Here's the thing. If it wasn't staged, God bless her. If it was staged, I hope SoFi Stadium burns down. Okay? You know, I mean, seriously. That better be genuine. You want to know what's staged? Taylor Swift's reaction to Travis Kelce success. That's staged. Totally staged. See, I don't know. We don't know that. We don't know that, but it is enough. It is enough of a topic now where we're going to find out. We're going to find out. You know, those milkmen felt like a real cool, genuine thing happening during the Melky Cabrera Giants days. And then we found out that literally they were a staged group of people paid to wear freaking milk outfits. And it wasn't anything. It was done by CSN Bay Area at the time. That was so lame. If it's real fans doing it, great. If it's a produced television segment, lame. Joe Schmo is right. Jax got that drip. As the kids would say, Jax does have the drip. Thank you very much. No cap there. See, look at me. Look at me. DVD. Nice stuff, right? That shirt is cool. Another person like, isn't it awesome? I mean, seriously, this thing is awesome. What a great logo the Gales had. And I don't even like soccer. I wish this logo came without the little soccer ball, but what am I going to do? Hartford Whaler colors. When I was a little kid, I used to have a Hartford Whaler Brendan Shanahan jersey. Go Whale. Disco face. I'm glad you're enjoying today. DVDV. Damon, how'd that doctor visit go? Didn't have to cough and bend over too often, I hope? No, it wasn't one of those. It wasn't a check the oil doctor. It was a check out a knee. So here's the thing. I might get like the Kobe knee stuff done to me. I got bone on bone. I'm not going to tell you my old man, I have arthritis in my knee, but right now I am absolutely eligible for a partial knee replacement. I got bone on bone level arthritis in my left knee, which given that I've already had a stroke, like I'm all cockeyed. My skeletal, I'm all cockeyed. I might get the Kobe Bryant, like platelet enriched. Here's the thing. They want to take my bone marrow. And I heard that hurts. I don't know about that. They want to take my bone marrow and put it in my knee. There's other cells that might be used. I'm like, can we use some fat cells or something? He's like, the bone marrow is the best stuff. But yeah, I got to think about it. I got to get brave. But I'm thinking about it. Oh, here's Jude again. Jude with the $1 million last name. Mr. Wellington, we'll see you now. Damon, you hypnoed us into getting Ikes in Dublin. 89 World Series. Can you imagine that ever again? Can you? Well, no. I mean, the A's will be gone. We'll never have another Bay Bridge series. Oh, Jillian. Honey, you're sweet. I was born in 82. There you go. Honey, I think of you and I just think there's a really hot young chick. There you go. So I'm always shaving years off. You're certainly shaving years off my life, honey. Oh my God, I love my wife. She's great. I love Ikes. I don't care who the manager or the GM is unless they actually start getting A-list free agents. Canceling my season tickets if they don't land at least 2 this year or Ohtani. Ike has spoken. Ike has spoken. Legends Pizza. 82 is a good year. That's my year too. There you go. Yep, wifey fact check. Wifey fact check. See, you know what? Ernie knows my excuses when I get details wrong. Stroco Loco. Stroco Loco. What month? Jillian was absolutely born in a month. I can guarantee you that. She was born in one of the 12 months for sure. January. I do know that. Let's see. Ike wants everyone to know that the D Bruce is available at every Ike's. Eat me in every location. Had the top down in my Rabbit convertible. You drove I didn't know men were allowed to drive Volkswagen Rabbits, but apparently you were. It was the Mazda Miata of a time. I'm like, I don't know if you can drive one of those things and be a dude all at the same time. But if it worked for you, it worked for you. No judgment. Stacy says, I was in my 20s. I was working at a bank when that killer earthquake hit. It was like doomsday. Oh, it must have been some of the scariest seconds of your life. Absolutely. First of all, Stacy, how were you in your 20s back then? Stacy Leo's a fox. Let me tell you that right now. We've met Stacy in person. Nice job, Stacy. We got our chef tip of the day. Chef tip of the day, salt high. If you're high when you salt, be careful always. Lift your hand up at least 6 to 8 inches above the food that you are salting. You control the amount. Yeah, you got better sprinkle. Better sprinkle. You know what I don't understand? The whole like Salt Bay thing. Like, why would I want my salt to come off of your forearm? Like, can't you just do it like this? I don't know why he dripped it off the forearm. I never really understood that. A lot of good stuff here in the chat. I thank you all very, very much for not only being so cool and kind with me, but with each other. What is this? Skills report says, Damon, Ray Caruth was slightly worse than John Fisher, but we get your point. I mean, I don't know. Like, Ray Caruth actually did kill someone, but John Fisher is killing sports in an entire town. How many souls does that affect? Obviously, we're over-exaggerating here for effect, but you know what I mean, man. Tell Damon to do Cameo. It's easy money, honey. Yeah, you're not the one editing this shit, babe. But maybe. What's this? Damon's going to need a makeover before he goes on Cameo. You know what I'm going to do? I'm going to get a rose tattoo on my hand. If it works for Kapler, then I'll just get all mysterious. Be like, I'm the Phantom of the Cameo with my rose tattoo hand. Oh my God, I got to put my glasses back on. I can't read anything in this chat without them. It gets all fuzzy. Oh, here she is again. Gabe the Babe was made for Cameo. Well, then, how about me, honey? How about me? All right. Danny Golding TV says, I was born in 97. Oh my God, you were born in 97? I graduated college in 97. I'm so freaking old. I wasn't alive for the earthquake, but my parents lived in the Bay. My mom remembers being at work listening to the game and having to stand by a doorway. Yeah, you get in that door frame. Earthquake, look for door frames. Damon, did you know that Ivor Robinson passed away at the age of 83? Is that... Why do I know that name? Why do I know that name? I'm just Google. Oh, he was the...
Now on first tee, ladies and gentlemen, Rory McIlroy.
He was the British Open announcer. Not the course announcer, not a broadcaster, but he would do the starting. He was the starter at the British Open, and he did it for years and years and years. Oh, okay. Well, thank you for letting me know. The British accent's pretty tough to beat. What do we got? NFL stage totally fixed. I don't know. I don't know if that woman was a plant or not. JJ Rader says that lady had her head in her lap after Herbert couldn't make the pass. She looked like a real fan to me. I mean, again, I hope she was. I really hope that she was. I mean, if that's made up too, if that is false, I'm going to be upset about that. Damon, what a sweet little exchange with your wife. Yeah, well, sweet little exchanges. It's what we do. What do we got here? Sorry about that knee problem. Erwin says, did you get that Andre Iguodala treatment? No, man, I got to play every night. Whatever the treatment Andre Iguodala got wasn't good enough. I need more than that. Kim, I had a spiffy toddy at the new El Cerrito location yesterday. Probably my first Ikes in about a decade or more. Boom. Another satisfied customer. The spiffy toddy. Toady? Spiffy Toady? Toddy? I don't know. I don't even know what that sandwich is. I don't even think I've ever seen it on a menu. Spiffy Tiffy. The Spiffy Tiffy. Okay. I think I have seen that. I couldn't tell you what's in it, though. All right. I get the D Bruce without onions every now and then. I used to hate onion rings. Hating onion rings? Really? Wow. I wish I hated onion rings. Onion rings are responsible for at least 4 of my constantly 30 pounds overweight life that I've led. Stacy. Oh, thank you. Seriously, Stacy. I've met you. I've seen you. That chick's hot. Everyone, look at it this way. I'm not the only one who thinks so. Everyone who met you. Everyone who met you agrees. I think, kids, that's what we got. Now, I normally wouldn't go with any breaking news offered up by anyone in the text, but T from the 203 is someone who works in the media. I don't think he's going to pass on false information. The Eagles signed Julio Jones, the artist formerly known as Julio Jones. Okay. All right. Okay. Damon, do you have tattoos? No, I don't. I am a completely tattoo-free human being. I'm not even afraid of needles, unless you say this needle is here to extract bone marrow, in which case I go, that's supposed to hurt. But no, I have no tattoos. I'm not a tattoo guy. I've been in the chair about to get one, and then I didn't chicken out as much as I just changed my mind. I'm like, nah, never mind. Damon, I'll buy a Cameo and I'll send it to my mom. Your mom needs to hear from me? Just have her give me a call. Damon, the Browns secretly leaving Cleveland might be even worse than the A's leaving maybe. Either way, fuck John Fisher. I mean, look, when you strip a team of a town that loves it, it sucks. It sucks. Officially, the Spiffy Tiffy came out wrong. Thank you very much. Kim says it's chicken, mushrooms, pesto, avocado, cheese, provolone, I think. I'm going to tell you, I like every single one of those words. Hey, Damon, will Ratto appear on your show in exchange for some Jack's sweaters? Jack just does T-shirts. I don't think he's doing sweaters, but he's got a couple sweatshirts. Ray does love defunct logos. If he does come through, I'll even get... Here's the thing. I got a text from Ray the other day. I did. I sent Ray a text inviting him on the show, and I hadn't heard back from him in a couple weeks. He's like, I finally saw this, man, and I'm on the East Coast right now, so I can't join you this month. Now, he didn't say, like, and I'll see you in November, and we'll do something then, but at least I know that Ray and I are still very much in communicado, and who knows? Maybe our Festivus wish will all come true. There it is, kids. There it is. I think this was a solid show today. The Duchess needs to do cameos. Let me tell you, I would love to see my mom start selling people's cameos. She'd be recording videos and she wouldn't even have the camera pointed at her, and you'd be able to see her living room. She'd say, "Hi, everybody, it's Linda." Meanwhile, you're looking at her wall. I know. Hey, thank you very, very much for tuning in today. If you're new here, subscribe, hit that like on your way out the door. I would deeply appreciate it. Kyle Madsen, who was part of the Severance Brothers with me and Ray Ratto during the 95-7 The Layoffs. He is now a radio host up in Sacramento. He is falling forward, which I absolutely love. He also writes for Niners Wire. I think he and I are doing something around 8:30 tonight. So a little late night Damon for you this evening to offer up. So stick around. Again, hit that like button, hit the notify. You won't miss anything if we do something planned, unplanned, but I think we got something a little bit for you later on tonight. So I will see you there. Hopefully see you there. And if not, if you can't join us live, what's amazing about this audience, like people will reach out to me in the comments section and be like, Damon, I'm so sorry I couldn't watch today. I had to catch the video. I'm not taking attendance. But thank you so much for feeling like that you're missing out on something unless you're here live with us. That means an awful lot to me. It really does. It just shows you how cool everyone in this chat is with each other. It's a little community that we've officially built, and it's awesome. I love it. Thank you so much for tuning in today. It was wonderful having you aboard. And let me just remind you, as you go out what seems to be a beautiful Tuesday here in the Bay Area, that sports don't build character. I already said that. Well, I got to remember how to do this. Oh, yeah, that's right. You don't have to go home. You just can't stay here.